The morning came wrapped in gold, soft as pages turning slow, touching every leaf and flower with a gentle warming glow. Coffee waiting by the window, steam rising toward the sky, while the city far beyond it was already rushing by. The record player found its rhythm, piano drifting through the room, like a conversation with the sunlight as the jasmine started to bloom. Mina sat beside the garden, holding warmth between her hands, listening to the little stories only quiet understands. Outside, people chase their futures, running through another day, trying hard to find tomorrow before today slipped away. But the flowers near the window never worried where they'd go. Still they opened every morning just to greet the golden glow. Milo stretched across the floorboards, claiming ownership of light, certain that the warmest corner was his kingdom and his right. And somehow watching him exist made everything seem clear, as though the world became a little softer whenever he was near. Take your time, stay a while. The morning wears a patient smile. Sky is white, the air is clear. There's no need to hurry here. If you ever need a quiet place, a little corner of the world, where the coffee is warm, the music soft, and sunlight slowly unfurls, you can always find it here. Between the notes, between the light, between the leaves, between the years, a place where tired hearts can rest and everything feels right. There are mornings filled with questions, there are evenings filled with doubt, there are days when every answer seems impossible to figure out. Days that arrive carrying thunder, days that arrive carrying rain, days that leave us staring upward, wondering if things will change. Yet somehow the sun keeps rising, the flowers keep finding spring, the birds still write their tiny songs across the sky with fragile wings, and every little ordinary miracle returns without a sound, as if the world keeps quietly proving that beauty can still be found. The record turned another circle, the coffee slowly cooled, the sunlight crossed the wooden floor like liquid gold in motion. The room was full of simple things, a chair, a book, a flower pot, yet somehow all together they became a place we loved. Mina smiled at nothing special, Milo dreamed of things unknown, and somehow in that tiny moment the cafe felt like home. Not because it was perfect, not because it was grand, but because it held the kind of peace that asked for nothing in return. The leaves still sway, the clouds still roam, the heart still knows the way back home. The music plays, the sunlight stays, the world feels kinder these days. If you ever need a quiet never race the sky. The ocean doesn't question why the waves arrive and die. The flowers don't compare themselves to blossoms down the road, yet somehow they become beautiful, simply carrying their own. Maybe we're a little like them. Maybe growth is often slow. Maybe we're becoming stronger in ways we'll never know. Maybe healing isn't thunder. Maybe healing isn't grand. Maybe healing is a coffee cup held gently in your hands. Maybe healing is a melody. Maybe healing is a friend. Maybe healing is remembering that difficult seasons end. Years from now the music changes. Years from now the seasons turn. Some cafes close their doors forever. Some candles stop their burn. Yet somewhere there will always be a window filled with light, a record player softly spinning through another peaceful night. Somewhere there will always be a sleepy cat beside a chair. Somewhere there will always be a reason not to despair. Because the world keeps growing gardens. Because the sky keeps painting blue. Because tomorrow still arrives with something beautiful. The morning arrived on quiet footsteps, carrying sunlight through the air, touching every sleepy flower, finding beauty everywhere. Coffee waiting near the window, steam ascending soft and slow, while the golden light kept dancing on the leaves that seemed to glow. The record player started turning, piano drifting through the room, like a letter from the daylight, promising the world would bloom. Mina watched the waking garden, listening to the gentle song, feeling like the smallest moments were where hearts truly belong. Take your time, stay a while. The day is wearing its best smile. The sky is clear, the light is new. Maybe it arrived for you. Maybe the morning needed you too. Maybe that's why the sunlight came through. Maybe the flowers opened today because they knew you'd pass their way. Maybe the music waited all night just to fill your world with light. Maybe the morning needed you too, as much as you needed it. Outside people chase their schedules, running through another race, searching for a distant future in an ever-changing place. But the sparrows on the rooftop never worried where they'd go. Still they greeted every sunrise with the same familiar glow. Milo stretched beside the window, claiming ownership of dawn, certain that the warmest sunlight had been waiting all along. The coffee carried tiny stores came through. Maybe the flowers opened today because they knew you'd pass their way. Maybe the music waited all night just to fill your world with light. Maybe the morning needed you too, as much as you needed it. There are days we feel forgotten, days that pass without a sign, days we wonder if we're growing or simply losing time. Yet every garden grows in silence, every river finds the sea, every sunrise keeps returning without asking for a guarantee. Maybe healing isn't thunder, maybe it arrives like rain, soft enough to miss completely, yet enough to ease the pain. Maybe hope is just a window filled with golden afternoon. Maybe hope is finding comfort in a simple little tune. The moon doesn't hurry evening, the stars don't race the sky, the flowers don't compare themselves to blossoms growing nearby. Yet somehow they become beautiful exactly as they are. Perhaps we're not so different from the flowers in the yard. Maybe life is less about arriving, more about learning how to stay, finding little pieces of wonder inside an ordinary day. Maybe the morning needed you too, maybe that's why the sky turned blue. Maybe the sunlight crossed the floor just to find you at the door. Maybe the coffee stayed warm so long, maybe the birds prepared their song. Maybe the morning needed you too, and maybe that's beautiful. The record slows, the sunlight glows, the garden grows, the soft wind blows, and somewhere between the music and the light, the morning smiles and says, I'm glad you came by. The room was still half dreaming, wrapped in morning shades of gold, the kind of light that tells a story before a word is told. The coffee waited patiently, steam rising soft and slow, while sunlight climbed the window frame and touched the plants below. The record player whispered softly, like an old familiar friend, playing songs that seemed to promise every storm would someday end. Mina sat beside the flowers, listening to the gentle tune, while Milo watched the waking world from his kingdom near the room. Take your coat, take your time, leave the busy world behind. Stay a while, breathe in slow, there's nowhere else you need to go. Stay until the sun comes through, stay until the sky turns blue, stay until the coffee cools and the music comforts you. Stay until the shadows fade, stay until your heart feels new. The world can wait outside the door. Stay until the sun comes through. Outside, the streets were getting louder, people rushing through the day, trying hard to catch tomorrow before today could slip away. But the flowers on the windowsill never worried where they'd be. Still they danced inside the sunlight like waves upon a quiet sea. The piano drifted through the room, soft as falling afternoon rain, every note becoming shelter from invisible little pains. Milo stretched across the floorboards, claiming every ray of light, certain that the greatest purpose was enjoying life just right. The leaves still sway, the birds still sing, the morning offers simple things. The music knows, the sunlight too, there's still some peace waiting for you. Stay until the sun comes through, stay until the sky turns blue, stay until the coffee cools and the music comforts you. Stay until the shadows fade, stay until your heart feels new. The world can wait outside the door. Stay until the sun comes through. Some mornings arrive with questions, some arrive carrying rain, some arrive with silent worries that are difficult to explain. Yet even then the sunlight visits, even then the flowers bloom, even then a favorite melody can brighten up a room. Even then the coffee warms us, even then the sky grows clear, even then a little kindness can make everything feel near. Maybe hope isn't a miracle, maybe hope is simply this: a quiet place, a gentle song, a peaceful moment we almost missed. The stars don't rush the evening, the moon doesn't chase the tide, the ocean never worries if the waves arrive on time. The seasons don't compare themselves, the trees don't fear the years, yet somehow they keep growing through sunshine and through tears. Maybe we're more like gardens than we've ever understood, growing little by little, slowly becoming good. Stay until the sun comes through, stay until the room feels bright, stay until the music wraps around you like the morning light. Stay until the coffee cools, stay until the day begins, stay until you remember how beautiful life has been. Stay until the sun comes through, stay until your smile returns. Sometimes all a tired heart needs is a little place to turn. The record spins, the sunlight glows, the garden grows, the warm wind blows, and somewhere between the coffee and the sky, the morning quietly whispers, you'll be alright. You'll be alright. The morning came in shades of amber, golden light upon the floor, touching books and sleepy flowers like it had so many times before. The kettle sang its little melody, the record found its groove, while the sunlight through the window made the hanging ivy move. Mina wrapped her hands around her coffee, watching tiny clouds of steam as the world outside awakened from another midnight dream. Milo occupied the windowsill, king of every ray of sun, certain that his daily mission was absolutely nothing. Slowly now, the day is kind. Leave the heavy things behind. Take a breath, look around. Peace is easier to find. The coffee is still warm, the sunlight's still around. The music keeps on playing like a soft familiar sound. The coffee is still warm, and maybe that's enough. A little hope, a little light, a little bit of love. Outside the city chased tomorrow, rushing through another day, searching for a perfect answer that kept slipping far away. But the flowers by the window never worried where they'd go. Still they opened every morning just to greet the golden glow. The old piano kept on singing, every note both soft and bright, turning ordinary moments into something warm and light. Milo stretched and yawned dramatically, then returned to napping deep, teaching everyone around him that not every dream can wait. The sky is blue, the leaves still sway, everything will find its way. The music knows the sunlight too, there's still something beautiful waiting for you. The coffee is still warm, the sunlight's still around. The music keeps on playing like a soft familiar sound. The coffee is still warm, and maybe that's enough. A little hope, a little light, a little bit of love. Some days arrive with questions, some arrive with rain. Some bring silent worries that are difficult to explain. Yet even on the longest mornings, the smallest things remain. The smell of coffee brewing, the comfort of a name, the way the sunlight visits the same corner every day, the way a favorite melody can quietly stay, the way a sleepy little cat can somehow make you smile, the way a peaceful moment makes the world feel worthwhile. Maybe happiness isn't louder, maybe happiness is small, maybe it's hidden in the moments we almost miss at all. Maybe it's coffee by your window, maybe it's jazz at 9:30. Maybe it's realizing you don't have to be fine all the time. Maybe it's enough to simply sit and And so is this small place. A little peace, a little joy, a little saving grace. The coffee is still warm, and maybe that's the art, finding tiny bits of sunlight for a tired heart. The record turns, the sunlight glows, the garden grows, the soft wind blows, and somewhere in the quiet room, the coffee is still warm. The sunlight poured across the room like honey made of gold. The morning felt so peaceful, warm and quiet to behold. Coffee waiting by the window, plants reaching for the sky, the record spinning softly as the hours drifted by. Mina held her favorite mug, listening to the tune, watching little dancing shadows move around the room. Everything was calm and lovely, everything was going right. Then somehow a flower pot decided it could take flight. One loud sound, one little crash, one moment later, total chaos. It was fine 5 minutes ago. The flowers stood in place, the coffee smelled like morning, there was sunshine on my face. It was fine 5 minutes ago. Now look around this room, there's soil across the floorboards and confusion in full bloom. A trail of leaves and tiny petals led directly to the scene. Evidence was scattered everywhere among the shades of green. The flower pot lay sideways, the soil spread far and wide, while somebody sat beside it with enormous innocent eyes. Milo looked completely puzzled, like he'd only just arrived, as if he'd never seen the plant at any point in life. Mina tried to solve the mystery, but the answer seemed quite clear. Unfortunately for the suspect was sitting here. No regret, no shame, no explanation came. It was fine 5 minutes ago. The room was neat and bright, the flowers lived inside their pots, everything felt right. It was fine 5 minutes ago, at least that's what I know. Now the plant is on vacation and the dirt is saying hello. Maybe every cat believes the rules are all suggestions. Maybe every cat survives by avoiding difficult questions. Maybe curiosity is stronger than common sense. Maybe flower pots were simply an unfortunate coincidence. The music never stopped playing, the sunlight never left, and somehow all the chaos made the morning feel the best. Because years from now, nobody will remember a perfectly tidy floor But everyone will remember the day Milo declared war. It was fine 5 minutes ago, but maybe that's okay. The best stories often happen when plans all drift away. It was fine 5 minutes ago, and now we're laughing here with sunlight, jazz, and coffee, and a cat without a fear. The record spins, the flowers rest, the coffee steams, the sunlight settles, and Milo quietly decides. The next plant looks interesting too.
The morning arrived with pockets full of sunlight, spilling gold across the floor, touching every sleeping flower like it had 1,000 times before. The kettle hummed a gentle chorus, the coffee filled the air with warmth, while outside the city hurried, racing toward another dawn. Mina sat beside the window, holding quiet in her hands, watching little beams of sunlight paint the bookshelves and the plants. Milo claimed his usual kingdom, a patch of light beside the chair, certain that the world existed only for his comfort there. The day is young, the sky is wide, the clouds are drifting with the tide. Take a breath, stay right here. There is nothing you should fear, and tomorrow can wait just for a little while. Let the music play, let the sunlight stay, let the morning make you smile, and tomorrow can wait. The world will still be there. For now there's coffee, for now there's jazz, for now there's peace in the air. Outside people chased horizons, searching for a distant shore, always reaching for tomorrow, always asking something more. But the flowers by the window never seemed concerned at all. Still they bloomed when they were ready, every summer, every fall. The old record softly crackled, piano drifting through the room. Every note became a lantern, glowing warmly through the gloom. Milo opened one green eye, then returned to dreaming deep, teaching all of us a lesson most of us forget to keep. Not every road needs to be run, not every battle needs to be won. Some days are made for slowing down, and tomorrow can wait just for a little while. Let the music play, let the sunlight stay, let the morning make you smile, and tomorrow can wait. The world will still be there. For now there's coffee, for now there's jazz, for now there's peace in the air. The years will come and they will leave us, seasons changing one by one. Winter snow and summer gardens, moonlit nights and rising suns. There But there will also be mornings like this gentle one today, where the sunlight finds the window and the shadows drift away. Moments small enough to miss, yet somehow big enough to heal. Quiet little pieces of life that teach the heart to feel. The moon never hurries evening, the stars never rush the sky, the ocean doesn't force the shoreline, the birds don't ask themselves why. Yet somehow everything arrives exactly when it's meant to be. Perhaps the same is true for flowers, perhaps the same is true for me. Perhaps we're not behind it all, perhaps we're growing every day. Like a garden nobody notices until it blooms one day. And tomorrow can wait just a little longer. The sunlight is still dancing across the room, the coffee is still warm, the music is still playing, the flowers are still reaching toward the afternoon. And tomorrow can wait, because today is enough. The laughter and the music, the hope and the love. And tomorrow can wait, the world can spin along, we'll meet it when it comes. But for now, we'll stay inside this song. The record slows, the sunlight fades, the flowers rest in evening shades, the coffee cools, the moon appears, the stars arrive like gold souvenirs. And somewhere in a cozy room, with Mina, with Milo, with music, with light, the day says goodbye, and the night says everything will be alright.
The morning arrived without warning, quiet as a drifting cloud, slipping through the sleepy curtains, never needing to be loud. Coffee waited by the window, sending warmth into the air, while the plants beside the sunlight stretched their leaves without a care. Mina wrapped her hands around it, watching steam begin to rise, like 1,000 tiny daydreams floating softly to the skies. Milo claimed his favorite corner, curled beneath the golden glow, certain that the greatest purpose was enjoying life slowly. No alarms, no hurry, no place we need to be. Just the sunlight, just the music, just this little piece. The sun stayed for coffee today, lingering a little longer, painting golden stories across the wooden floor. The sun stayed for coffee today, like an old familiar friend. And suddenly the morning felt warmer than before. Outside, people filled the sidewalks, chasing schedules through the day, running
after distant moments that keep slipping far away. But the flowers near the window never seemed concerned at all. Still they greeted every sunrise, every summer, every fall. The record player softly crackled, old piano found its tune. Every note became a blanket for the quiet little room. Milo opened one sleepy eye, then returned to dreaming deep, teaching everyone around him that not every moment needs to leap. Take your time, the sky isn't leaving. Take your breath, the day is still beginning. The sun stayed for coffee today, lingering a little longer, painting golden stories across the wooden floor. The sun stayed for coffee today, like an old familiar friend. And suddenly the morning felt warmer than before. Maybe happiness is simple, maybe joy is small, maybe it arrives unnoticed like sunlight on the wall. Maybe peace is not a finish line, not a mountain left to climb. Maybe peace is learning slowly how to enjoy the passing time. The trees don't rush the seasons, the moon doesn't chase the night, yet somehow everything arrives exactly when it's right. The sun stayed for coffee today, and the music stayed there too. The flowers kept on dancing in their coats of emerald hue. The sun stayed for coffee today, and maybe that's enough. A little warmth, a little hope, a little reminder that life is already beautiful. The coffee cools, the record slows, the sunlight lingers, the jasmine grows, and somewhere in the quiet, the morning smiles.